What's going on, YouTube world? It's Badfish14 bringing you more Madden 17 highlights. I played the Raiders in this video. It was a really great game on so many different levels. I'm actually probably going to make a couple different videos out of it, but it was really entertaining. I'm going to make a video on how to break up zone defense with your passing so you can be more effective at passing against the zone. I'm primarily going to focus on beating an unstoppable passer. This guy, for 3/4 of the game, was just lighting me up passing. I really had no answers until I started to make my adjustments. So I figured them out, made some adjustments. So I hope you enjoy, I hope you learned something, and without further ado, let's get started. So like I said, played the Raiders, I was the Patriots, and right from the get-go, this guy was lighting me up. Here, I come out in the zone to no avail, can't do anything. He doesn't even really have good separation here. He knows where his guys are. He's running most of his receivers. Sometimes he'll have a halfback block, but he's pretty much running all his receivers. I try a different zone. I come out. Look how close I get to sacking him. Or no, I don't get close to sacking him here, but he's got a guy wide open in the middle. It's like a 20-yard gain right there. I try changing things up. I come out in a 6-man blitz right here. Oh, look how close. I think this is the play where I get to almost sack him. Look how close I get to sacking him. Still can't sack him. Doesn't even have great separation. He's got pinpoint accuracy. He's got a good quarterback, good receivers. I tried changing it up here. I try faking a linebacker blitz. They come in and they jump back. Nothing. He's got a guy, it's a really good separation there. Another 15-yard gain. He tries running it, and I saw bring him to 4th and goal, but he passes it and lights me up. So one tip right now is you need to pay attention to the first drive. What is he doing? How many times does he pass it? How many times does he run it? Is he coming out in close sets, or is he coming out in 4 or 5 wide? Here he's crunching me defensively. But you want to pay attention to that first drive. That's really going to tell you a lot about your opponent. From that first drive, I suspected that he's going to be passing most of the game, which he ended up doing. So he's threatening here. And I can't get any pressure on him. And I even have the safety in position, but the safety can't make the play. And he ends up settling for a field goal here. At this point, I'm not too concerned. It's only 10-0 after he kicks this field goal. It's only 10-0. I'm really not too worried at all. So I guess the main tip here is you need to pay attention to that first drive. Again, is he running the ball a lot? Is he passing? You need to start making your adjustments. So it's 10-0. I'm not too worried. He goes to kick it off. I'm thinking if I can score here, this game's very close. I could easily win. But then something, I don't fumble that often. But he gets me to fumble, and he takes it back for 6. So it's 17-0 now. Now I'm starting to get a little concerned. I march back. Here's the tip. For running, it's the same formula every time. Hit X, then don't hit anything. Let your blockers get into position, then make your moves. And at the same time, you sort of have to figure out where their linebackers are. If they're on the outside, you have to bang it up the middle. If they're in the middle, you got to bounce it to the outside. There was a guy on the outside, so I really didn't want to go to the outside. I had to bang it up the middle, jam it up the middle. So it's the same thing every time. Hit X, let your blockers get into position before you make your moves. Start making your moves. Evaluate where their linebackers are, and then adjust accordingly. If the linebackers are on the outside, then you have to jam it up the middle. If they're up the middle, you have to bounce it to the outside. So here's where it's the third quarter. Here's where I start making my adjustments. I drop my defensive line back. Watch my defensive line. I have 2 rushers on the outside, but I dropped there's 4 defensive linemen. I dropped 2 back and I rushed 2. Here, I don't think I have anybody rushing. I drop them all back manually. I just got 1 guy watching the quarterback. The other 2 drop back. He's got no one to pass to. So those are my adjustments, and that's my tip is if he's unstoppable and he's lighting you up, you gotta run zone defense, and then I'd run a lot of cover 3, and then drop your defensive line back. Here you'll see, watch, I drop everybody back. I don't have anybody rushing him now. I just got that 1 guy watching him. He's got no one to pass to, and that was the turning point of the game. So drop your defensive line back. Here's where I make my drive. I'll give you a tip on how to beat his zone. He's always running zone. So you want to look for follow plays. Watch the right side of your screen, circle and X. So circle crosses the middle and then X follows him right afterwards. Okay, that really helps jam up their zone. They got to follow somebody. They got to pick somebody to run with, and you got 2 guys in that same zone. So Gronkowski had just enough separation and the open lane to throw to, so I gave it to Gronkowski. So look for those follow plays. I'm not going to tell you which ones. They're in your playbook. You find them. A deeper crossing pattern, right side of the screen, look at circle and X. X is Gronk, circle's Hogan. Watch them cross, okay? You just keep your eyes on the right side of the screen. I saw that Hogan was open, which is circle. He had that lane. He had enough separation in lane. So what it does is it puts 2 or 3 defenders in that one spot, and the zone has to pick somebody, and then you just look for the open person. So here I run it. X, hit X, let your blockers get into position, and then evaluate your linebackers. I couldn't go to the right. I couldn't go out of the outside because their linebackers there. The only place I had to go was up the middle, and it was a huge first down. So here, I run the Z spot. Watch the right side of your screen. You got Gronkowski, Hogan, and the running back. Running back, they all run off to the right, so they're going to try and jam up that zone and confuse the zone. You just keep your eyes on the right side of the screen, and then evaluate who's open. They have to, usually with zone, they have to pick. The only person open was Hogan, so I fired him for a couple of 5 yards, and that was a good game. All right, next play. I only have so many splices, so I gotta watch this. All right, I come out, I break up. This is a good play to break up your the defensive zone here. It's going to be a shallow cross. Okay, watch the 2 tight ends on either side of the middle. They're going to cross shallow, but then I got 2 deeper guys, the wide receivers running deep, but they lost them on the zone for the shallow cross, and I picked up Gronkowski for a first down. So that's you want to look for those shallow crosses and those deep crosses. Those are really good ways to help you beat the zone. Here I'm going to run it, and it's the same thing. Hit X, we'll let your blockers get into position, evaluate the line blockers, and then make your moves. Linebackers, then make your move. I can't go to the right because you see the guy on the outside, so I have to bang it back up the middle, to jam it in the middle. Okay, I saw that linebacker on the right, so I had to cut it and jam it up the middle. Third and 6, so I'm looking for a passing play. Okay, I think I'm doing the Y flood here. If you look off to your left side of the screen when they line up, it's another crossing play. It's not a cross, they're going to follow. It's a follow. So look at the left side, triangle and square. One guy's crossing shallow, the other guy's crossing right behind him, and I pick up the first down. So you want to look in your playbook. You want to look for those following routes and those crossing routes, and look for them shallow and look for them deep, and it really does a good job when your opponent's running a lot of zones. They're really good, especially when he's not blitzing you. Okay, same thing. Hit X, it's a run play. Hit X, let your blockers get into position, evaluate the linebackers. I can't go up the middle because you see the linebackers up the middle, so I had to bounce it out to the outside because there were no linebackers on the outside. But I'm not hitting turbo, I'm not pressing controls, I'm not pressing the L stick until he gets the ball. I'm really trying to figure out where those linebackers are. And here I should have dropped my defensive line back, but I got nervous. There's only 9 seconds left, but anyways, I come up with a pick. So, and that's the game. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Ignorant P, I think was his name. He gave me a really good game, made me a better gamer. I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining, and I'll be making some more videos from this. This is a great game, by the way. So look for other videos. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.